So this is Bar Fleshman here, and what we are doing now is we're getting into the ultimate connection with God, seven-step guide to Jewish spirituality. This book was written by Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran, and there's a lot here, a lot for us to think about. Now, I'd like to go back to there were quite a few ideas in the last one that I think need, like you could read this like over and over again, and when we get to the point where you start getting into practical meditations, uh, maybe you could read it, many times or just go over it many times. That's what it's all about. So he wrote this: the more we are able to honor, accept, and feel the presence of our neshama. Now you have to stop and I had to stop and think about this because if I'm learning Torah or after I'm learning Torah, I definitely do the feel a presence of spiritual presence. But the way it is for me is that I work, and so I have to go to work in between all these different things I'm doing or trying to do, and it means that I'm dealing with the physical world. It's okay, you have to do that, but it's hard to feel your neshama in that situation. You talk to Rabbi Mimran, he knows that too. It's for everybody. What's the neshama? The one is the godliness that's in you, and the godliness is in everything. So he says the more we will be free of pain. So he says, feel the presence of our neshamas. The more we could be connected to that feeling that we get when we're learning Torah, we're getting close. The more that we can carry that through the rest of the day and be able to have that perception, the more we will be free of pain, free of suffering, and free of the quote ego mind. Rabbi Memra. Now he says this is a new piece. This piece is called The Psychology of the Yetzer. One easy way to get into this. So here he says the Yeked is Yitzchak Pashat Tzav. I'm not sure exactly. He says closeness and attachment to Hashem is the ultimate purpose. Like everything else in existence, the emotional ego, which is driven by the Yetzer Hara, wants to survive, and the only way it can survive is by getting you to unconsciously identify it with it. If it succeeds, it can then take you over. It can become you and live through you. Like a destructive parasite, it needs to nourish itself through you. It will feed on any experience that resonates with its own kind of energy. What kind of energy, in fact, does the Yetzer Hara have? Anything that creates further pain, discomfort, because it's all defensive. What do they do about this? Why did they say that? What does this mean? In any form. It can feed on anything negative within you, which is one of the reasons why it's like at Bresla, for example, they talk about being happy, trying to do things that make you happy, get involved with music, do different things that can bring you happiness. But he says it can feed on anything negative within you, such as anger, destructiveness, hatred, grief, emotional drama, violence, and even illness. Right? All of that. Once it has taken you over, and I had to really think about this because really I suffer from all of these things just like everybody else. It's a combat in the area of trying to control this ego mind. But on the other hand, there is trouble in the world. So let's go over. Once it has taken you over, the emotional ego will create a painful situation in your life that will reflect its own negative energy frequency. Whoa. And it will then feed on that negativity. You have to understand that the Torah says that he's using a certain nice way to say this, that in your head, there are very often accusations. You're arguing about what you did. Your head is accusing you of doing something wrong, especially if you do something wrong. It never stops. So this is the basis of what you say needs to be cleansed. But there's different methods for cleansing this. At any rate, he's pointing it out. It's a frequency, it's an energy frequency. What's that frequency? The frequency is the frequency of the accusation, of the guilt, of the sin, the lesion of your soul. It needs the negativity, for pain can feed only on pain. Pain cannot feed on joy. It finds joy to be altogether indigestible. Nice, nice line. He says if the emotional ego succeeds in taking you over, it will leave you wanting more pain. You will be looking for that fight. You will be looking for that diagnosis. You will be looking for that, well, whatever it is, that confrontation out there. You will become either a victim or a perpetrator. You will want to suffer pain or to inflict pain or both. On some levels, there really isn't much difference between suffering and inflicting pain. I'm not sure what that level is. All this happens unconsciously. In all likelihood, you will insist that you do not want pain. Of course not. However, if you are able to observe yourself objectively, you will find that you are thinking and behaving in ways that will keep the pain going, both for yourself and for others. Very, very interesting. If you were truly conscious of this pattern you experience, of pain creating more pain, the pattern would dissolve. For no sane person would consciously desire more pain, and it is impossible to be consciously insane. Rabbi Mimran. Last line. Pain cannot feed on joy. It finds joy to be altogether indigestible. Wow. Rabbi Mimran. This is Baruch Flashman, Tikkun Elevator Kolel.